All right, so look, I got my first guest on Game to Live By. This is a childhood friend known for what? We're gonna say 20 something years.
It's a long time.
Maybe even 30.
Maybe.
And we just ran back into each other, got to chopping it up, and I'm like, this would be a great person to bring on to discuss what you got going on. So all the viewers, anybody tuned in, let's welcome DeMarlo to the channel.
What's up?
Clap it up at home. Thank you for joining me. First off, I appreciate it. I want to get right into it, man. Basically, if you can just give a rundown of who you are right now, what you got going on right now, and then we can dive into all the other stuff.
Yeah, so my name's DeMarlo, 33. As of right now, my big things, work, live, but one of my big things I'm into right now is Jiu Jitsu. Like that's one of that's my fun and my work to a degree.
Okay.
So it gives me, it helps me work on my body, but it also helps me work on my mind. And that's one of my main focuses right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So you went to Jiu Jitsu. That was the main
Yes.
reason why I wanted to bring you on, because to me that's just a dope avenue that
Correct.
a lot of people that I know just aren't tapped into. They just don't know anything about it. It's not even nothing that's running across their mind. And I feel like for the type of channel and content that I'm doing, promoting and talking to young men that's growing up trying to find their way, a lot of these cats out here, they only know how to resort to violence.
Yes.
To handle situations, to handle disagreements. It's just straight violent, you know.
Right.
So would you say that doing jiu-jitsu, the goal, if you have a disagreement or an encounter, is to resort to violence, resort to the skills that you done obtained in jiu-jitsu?
So it's not, if I'm in an altercation with you, it's not gonna be to hurt you. My main goal would be to control you. So I want to make sure, first of all, you want to get out. Now, number one, you want to get out. We don't want altercations.
Okay.
Nobody should want to fight anybody.
So are you walking around with the skills that you possess, knowing that you can most likely take on the average person? With that knowledge, are you like looking for the smoke, or are you avoiding
absolutely
the smoke?
not, because you never know what someone is capable of. Not only are they, you don't know what they're capable of physically, but you also don't know what they're capable of emotionally, because they could also go to their car and get a gun, and now you did it. And we actually had a guy that died in the jiu-jitsu community, Leandro Lowe, who he got into a fight at a bar. He's like a world champion jiu-jitsu fighter. Got into the fight with the guy, beat him up, and the guy came back with a gun and killed this guy.
Wow.
And that was one of like the biggest things. It's like, first of all, you don't want an altercation at all. Second of all, you want to run away if you can. Third of all, you need to control this person so you don't get, the situation doesn't turn worse than what it already is.
Okay, so would that be some advice that you would give to some young cats? Like, if you can, just try to avoid the altercation altogether.
If you can, number one, you need to run. You need to get out of there. If you have airspace,
does running make you a hoe as a man?
Never does, because by you having this skill, you know for a fact that I can bang with you.
Right.
I can, but
Right.
that don't mean I have to.
Right.
And until you show me any sign that you're really threatening me, you're really threatening my life or threatening someone I love, now we got a problem on our hands. But
Right.
other than that, like I've had people, people can use words against you. Now, that's not worth it.
Words aren't gonna get you, DeMarlo, to fisticuffs.
There is nothing that you can say that will make me want to actually hurt you.
Right.
The only thing that I need to see is a twitch. I need to see something that shows me that you're about to attack me. And if I feel that, okay, all systems go, we ready.
Right.
Like, first of all, one of my things I will also tell people is, you see a lot of people, they want to square up. Don't even allow that. I don't even let you get that close.
Right.
Like, don't get that close to me. One of the things they teach us in our jiu-jitsu class is how to back up and keep your hand in front of you. Like, I'm gonna back up. I'm keeping my feet kind of staggered. I'm backing up a little bit, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping distance between you and
Right.
And I need to keep this distance because I need to be ready that if you try to swing on me, I'm ready.
Right.
If you try to tackle me, I'm ready.
Right.
And I'm ready for either of those things.
Right. Okay. So how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
So I've been in jiu-jitsu about a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
have you say you've learned within a year isn't a super long time,
Not long,
you know?
super long.
How much would you say you've acquired compared to the average person who may think they can fight? The average person who's had some street fights in their life, right? How much do you think you learned compared to that?
I would say chances are I could probably beat that person in an actual fight. Only because there's certain things that I will know that you just won't know.
Right.
Like just because you swung on somebody and knocked them out on first hit, that don't necessarily mean you're gonna win the fight. Because if you hit me and I don't go down, then what?
Right.
You know, if I get my hands on you, then what?
Right.
And it's not surefire because we're grapplers, we're not strikers. We're not sitting here trying to punch people and knock them out.
Right.
We're essentially trying to get our hands on you. And if I get my hands on you, oh, you going to sleep. Like it's just that simple. If I get my hands on you, going to sleep.
Right.
But once again, we try to keep away from that kind of thing. We don't want that kind of stuff.
Your what would it be? The sensei of
we call him professor.
The professor. Okay.
Ronaldo. Yep.
Your professor. Do you think that his mentality is similar to yours? Like, is he kind of instilling that in the people that
he's
come
instilling
through?
that in everyone that comes in that
And
gym.
this guy, you would say, is like a beast when it comes
Absolutely. Because I personally have never seen him lose a fight. I haven't seen it. It probably has happened, but it's not something that anyone sees. And I've seen this dude fight dudes that's twice his size.
Wow.
I've seen me get pinned down and beat up by a guy that's 260 pounds, and I've seen him toy with that same exact guy.
Wow.
Like he has that level of skill because once you have to learn the biology of it. You have to learn the science of what it is of actually the human body.
Right.
Like I have to learn that I have to learn your weight distribution. Like it's not just about straight up powering somebody through.
Right.
Some situations I can literally just flip you. Like, and barely use any type of energy at all. Like I can grab your neck and then I'm flipping you over my head and I can run away and get out of there. Or I can, flip you and turn the tables on you and try to choke you out.
Wow.
Like there's so many different things that we can do. There's so many things that the human body is capable of that you won't even know until you actually start going through it.
Okay. That's fire, actually.
Yeah.
It's a whole science to this.
There's a whole science because there's so many possibilities. Like the whale of Jiu Jitsu is limitless. Like there's so many different things that you can do. They call it chess with body parts.
Oh wow.
So it's literally I can give you something and take something from you. If I know you're about to try to give me an arm bar, I can give you the arm. But I know you're gonna have to transition in order to take my arm. So now I know that you're gonna be light in a certain area. So now I can attack that area.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm snatching this out, now I can move around and now I can get what I really want.
That's actually fire.
Yeah, so I'm essentially giving you a pawn.
Yeah.
And then now I'm about to really jump you and I'm gonna take you.
That's fire.
Yeah.
To those that's viewing, that's watching, you never know who you might encounter.
You never know.
You might come across a jiu-jitsu warrior.
You never know.
Such as DeMarlo. And now he got your leg behind your ear. So the point is, as men, I try to preach and promote to young men especially to be able to control yourself, you
Absolutely.
know, and don't feed so much into certain emotions that you may feel in an altercation, in an instance, you know. It's a lot of instances where a guy feels like another guy across the room is looking at him funny. And that's enough for that guy to go approach him and say, what are you looking at?
Yes.
So basically going to the smoke, you know?
Yes.
Like, do you think that is, if you feel a guy looking at you from across the room, is that enough for you to be like, let me go find out what this guy?
No, so for me, which is even what I had before I even went to jiu-jitsu, there's threat levels. I have a threat level meter in my head. Okay, if I see this guy looking at me, I might be at about a 2. Like, okay, maybe I need to pay attention to this, but I don't need to address this situation. Maybe I need to be paying attention to where his hands are. Let me pay attention to whether or not he's getting into a fight stance. Let me pay attention to his waistband to see if he got something on him. Like, let me just pay attention to all these things. Let me pay attention to who might be with this person and who he might be making eye contact with, because there may be somebody standing right behind you that you don't know that's a part of his group. So it's like it's it's that threat level and there's an awareness about it. That don't mean you need to fight. He may not even be looking at you. Some people might actually just be completely checked out and they're just zoned out. I've seen that happen where these guys were, the guy got upset because the guy was looking at him funny, but I knew the kid and I'm like, he not a bad guy. Like he might just be zoning out. Like and I'm like, and them dudes got to tussling and I'm like,
wow,
you didn't. The other guy walked up on him, was like, what you looking at?
Exactly.
And now all of a sudden, we got a problem just because you said what you looking at.
Exactly.
And now we done became a whole, we bumping heads for no reason when neither one of y'all really wanted a problem.
Right.
But somehow y'all ended up in this problem because y'all just didn't,
Yeah, that's a super avoidable situation.
Super avoidable.
It's extremely petty when you think about it in our older years. I mean, there's been cases back when I was younger that those situations would happen and it's like you're feeling a certain type of way because a person is looking at you. It could be an insecurity within yourself. Who knows what it is, why that triggers you, when it triggers you, but that's something that we do have to like instill in younger men that somebody looking at you doesn't necessarily mean anything.
It can mean nothing. It can mean nothing at all. This guy can literally be stressing about his own life right now.
Yeah.
And you have no idea. His mama could have died.
Yeah.
His dad could have died.
Right.
He could have just lost his job. He's literally just like, dog, I'm gone right now.
Right.
And then here you come. Like, what's up? You got a problem?
What you
You got a problem? Like, I got a lot of problems. Which one you want to solve? Like, all right, well, let's go solve all these problems then. Now we about to fight and somebody going to jail for nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. And it happens every single day.
Yeah, all the time.
For nothing. Dudes step on your shoe and you about to go get a gun and kill this guy.
Yeah,
like, it's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it.
What would be some advice that you can give to a young cat that may suffer from that may go through that situation where it's a super petty instance where somebody step on your shoe by mistake or looking at you how you feel, looking at you funny? What would be a little piece of advice that you would give a young person on how to handle that?
So simply, a lot of times when I see stuff like that, I assume that this man is trying to prove his manhood. Like, that's why you took it so personal and you feel like he questioned your manhood, so now you gotta prove it to all the world.
Wow.
First of all, you don't have to prove your manhood to anybody. That would be my number. You do not have to prove it because people are gonna question it regardless and they know nothing about you. It is what it is. They're gonna make their own assumption anyway. So do not prove your manhood to anybody. And if you feel like you have to, well then maybe you need to go take a class. Maybe you need to go learn something. Yeah. So that way now you can have a confidence about yourself that you didn't have before, which I didn't have it. And I had to take a class. Like, okay, cool. Now I got this confidence. Now I don't have to feel questioned.
The more you know that you're capable of, the less you feel like you have to prove yourself.
The less you're gonna feel like you have to prove
That's
yourself.
A bar. That's fire.
It's gonna happen every single day. I didn't believe it until I started learning. And I was like, dude, not only do I have this confidence, but man, was I so naive to think that I can be out here in these streets and I can fight anybody.
Right.
You can't. Like, I've seen it. I've seen dudes who are 6'8", 300 something odd pounds get played with by a dude that's 160 pounds.
Damn.
Like, dude just toys with him. He just flipping you around, rolling you around. You can't hold him down. You can't do nothing. And it's like, dude, you are hilariously outgunned in this world. And you have no idea. Like that little dude that you think so little and so, that dude can literally hurt you. Like he will kill you if he gets the opportunity. He can get his hands around your neck and it's a wrap. Now, you think you so big in this way, it means nothing.
That's actually crazy, man.
It can mean nothing.
What do you say to, okay, so one of the biggest takeaways I've taken away thus far is you do not have to prove your manhood.
You do not.
That's actually really fire. I've personally haven't had too many of those moments where I felt like I had to prove my manhood, but I've never been able to, I guess, actually put that into words.
Yes.
Like it's a certain confidence, I guess, that you have to have.
Yeah.
So what I would say is like a lot of young dudes, that is what they are doing. They're trying to prove their manhood.
Trying to,
but they're basically calling it, you not about to play with me, you not about to take me like a hoe. You not about to, if I let you get away with looking at me like this, the next
everybody
person
else
don't feel
think they can do it.
like, so they're so pressed on not being viewed as a hoe.
Yes.
What would you give them, what game would you give them to where they aren't feeling like, damn, I let this dude just look at me and get away with it?
you got to get that confidence in yourself first. If you can get that confidence in yourself, even with like learning something like jiu-jitsu, it's equivalent to the guy that has a gun. Like he's a punk in the streets,
right?
But as soon as he puts that gun in his waistband, now all of a sudden you feel like he's something. Like
wow.
It's like you learn this, but your gun, I have that in my mind,
right?
And I can do it with my body physically.
Right.
I don't even have to have a gun,
right?
And it's like that within itself is that's priceless.
Yeah,
you can't you literally it's a skill that you don't even forget. Like I can't forget this. Like I know as soon as I touch you, I'm gonna get that it's gonna come back to me. Like, oh, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to flip you, I need to turn you this way. Okay, all right, cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So would you suggest that all young men get into some form of jiu-jitsu or boxing or something?
Honestly, jiu-jitsu to me is so powerful that I feel like it should be taught in every grade school in the world.
Wow.
Honestly. We should be learning that instead of learning gym. You should be learning, first of all, the discipline of fighting every day, of putting your body through certain things every single day. You got to put your body through pain, and you got to heal through that pain.
Right.
And you got to learn how to be smart about your body. But also, one of the most invaluable things that you learn is how to get somebody off the top of you. Like, if you mount me, I know what it's going to take to get you off of me.
Right.
Now, yeah, you might take some damage. The person might actually get a punch off or two on you. But you have that ability to be able to get this person off. I know I can, if you're on top of me, I can grab your arm, tuck, and I can roll, and now I'm on top of you.
Wow.
And it's that could be the fight right then and there.
Yeah.
Like, this person could have literally just grabbed both hands and squeezed your neck and killed you. Dang. But instead, now you just rolled them and you're on top of them now.
Dang.
Now you can actually potentially get out of this situation.
I've seen that countless times on, the Twitters and Instagrams where people posting street fights and somebody gets down on the ground, one person is on top of the other, and that's kind of the fight, and the person that's on the ground never recovers. They never get from
it's nearly impossible because there's gonna be so much energy you're gonna burn just trying to get that person off of you. And then once you have that adrenaline dump and that energy dump, then you're literally you're useless at that point because not only do you not have the technique, now your body is exhausted. Right. So it's like I can't even squirm around because I don't have nothing left. Like I done burnt it all just trying to get out of this situation, and I'm doing something stupid that don't even help me.
Right.
But at least I can put all my energy into the thing that actually may get me out.
Right.
And if he don't know nothing, then I may actually get out of this situation. Yeah. Maybe.
So is that something that you think, like, if some way, somehow, the average person gets you to the ground?
Yes.
You're confident that you will be able to get from up
100% confident, especially if the person is untrained.
Right.
Now, we talking about somebody that's trained, and it might take a little bit more effort. Right. But if you don't know nothing, I guarantee I can get you off top of me very easily because it's so many things that you're not going to think of. Like, I can literally put two hands on one, push your knee, and get my leg out. Then push on the other knee and get the leg out. Dang. I can trap your arm, trap your leg, and roll you over. You won't be thinking about any of these things. It's just, it would never occur to you because you've never been put in that situation before. And one of the invaluable things you learn how to like shrimp. So it's literally pushing your hips and your butt out and using your feet to push you. You getting like almost half your body away from underneath that person in one motion.
Wow.
And if that person don't know how to collect you back, then you done slid out, and you can get out of there again.
That's fire.
And or like a tactical stand up, you learn how to. A lot of times people just use 2 feet and stand straight up. Well, you kind of leave yourself open for that person to tackle you and take you back down. Well, one thing that they teach us is you got to learn a tactical stand up, which is you put one foot behind you, then you stand up. So if that person decides to try to tackle you, you have a balance.
Wow.
But if you stand with 2 legs straight up,
you very vulnerable.
Right? Very vulnerable.
That's
that person's
fire.
Gonna take you right back down to that ground very easily.
This is some game DeMarlo is giving y'all right now.
Yeah, man.
If you don't want to join the jiu-jitsu class, just watch this video and you learn everything you need to know. Okay. I got one last question. I don't want to make this video too long. So I know in this 1 year you've learned a fair amount of different moves and all of that stuff. What would you say would be the dopest move that you've learned thus far, or your go-to move that you've learned in this year?
Man, there's a lot because for me it would be the triangle. The triangle is like one of my all-time favorites.
Like Phil Jackson, the Lakers,
No,
Kobe, Shaq.
actually, yeah, we can think of it like that. But it is, but you doing that with your legs.
Oh, wow.
And I'm putting your arm and your neck in that triangle.
Wow.
So yeah, we got a triangle here. I'm putting your head and your neck dead center of that,
Damn.
and I'm choking you out.
Dang.
And that's one of my all-time favorite moves because it's something a lot of people they really don't do, and it's something it's better for me, the type of body type that I have, because everything is about body type. The body type that I have, I'm slimmer, so with slimmer guys, we're typically going to be on the bottom at some point in time. So this is my way to be defensively offensive.
Oh, okay.
So I could be on my back and like, oh man, you win in this fight. Boom, I throw my triangle up and I'm killing you at this point. And
That's crazy.
Just that simple. You might think you got me. Like, oh man, he on the ground. I'm about to punch him out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab your arm and I'm gonna grab you and I'm gonna hold that neck.
I remember you telling me when we talked earlier that the fight doesn't start until you get to the ground.
When you get on the ground, that's when my fight starts.
That's crazy.
That's definitely when it starts. No one is gonna end the fight on the process of going down to the ground. We just getting started, baby.
Damn.
Once you do that, all right, come on. All right, now we can work on this fight. Yeah.
This is some good game for y'all to learn. One, you should learn how to defend yourself. You should learn how to avoid. That's the whole premise of everything we've been talking about is avoiding altercations altogether.
Yeah.
Once again, life is like a video game, and the goal is not to keep dying and trying to respawn.
No,
you gotta avoid altercations and you don't have to prove your manhood. You can go home if you have the confidence. What I preach is work hard. You know what I'm saying? So where you're making enough money to put yourself in a position to live how you want to live. That gives you confidence.
Yeah.
Working out physically, how you look. That gives you confidence. So if you're working in all these different areas and you're building confidence in so many different areas of your life, it's gonna be a lot harder for somebody to throw you off your square. Cause like I'm not about to get involved with that. Cause I done worked and built myself up to get to this point.
Right.
I'm not about to waste it on just random person who's looking at me a certain type of way. But
it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. So thank you for coming and sharing the game that you've just shared. Super helpful. All the young cats out here, I would encourage you, and DeMarlo would also encourage you to,
very encouraged.
Like you said, this should be getting taught in school.
You should be learning it.
Learn how to defend yourself. At least have that in your tool bag.
Something.
You know, you got it. You don't have to use it. And as he said, the more he learns and the more he knows, the less he wants to get involved with anybody on this. Because I know how it's going to go. It's just a certain level. Yeah, it's a certain level of confidence. So appreciate you for coming and stopping by the channel. And anything you want to say to the people where to follow you, watch your content.
Oh yeah, so you can follow me at DeMarlo on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, same name. It's usually D_Marlo, and you can find that on any of the platforms.
Okay, and anything you want to give them before you leave, any more game you want to give them, one takeaway?
Yeah, so one main thing is always be confident in yourself and do whatever it takes to get that confidence, and make sure that when you walk through the streets, you feel like you that guy, you that woman, whatever it is. You need to make sure that you feel good, but don't let it be false. Make sure that it's something that is actually built on something. If you got that, nobody can stop you.
That's fire. That's some game to live by. Got more videos on the way. Have some more special guests on the way. Share this video, like it, subscribe, all that stuff, comment, whatever else.
Right.
And yeah, we're gonna get back soon.